Hey everyone. My now second favourite yearly tech conference after VMworld is NVIDIA GTC, and it's just wrapped for 2021 last week. And as it was the first one I actually attended virtually, I wanted to share with you some of my personal highlights. So for anybody that's not aware of GTC, it's NVIDIA's yearly conference, and they describe it as the #1 AI conference for innovators, technologists, and creatives. The description actually fits it perfectly. It's not just for hardcore techies, but for creatives too. And the conference runs every year. This time it was on the 12th to the 16th of April. I was having a quick look at the Wikipedia page for GTC, and they talk about how it started in 2009 in San Jose in California, and originally had a focus on the potential for solving computing challenges through GPUs. But whereas now in more recent years, the conference has started to shift based on what NVIDIA has been doing into various applications of artificial intelligence and deep learning, including talking about things like self-driving cars, healthcare, high-performance computing, NVIDIA Deep Learning Institution training. And so it's starting to attract more and more attendees every year. So then the work that NVIDIA is doing really is starting to shape and drive forward the world of AI and machine learning. So if you're someone with an interest in AI, ML, or even just interested in the future of technology in general and where things are going, this is a really good conference to go back and watch. At VMware, we've been working with NVIDIA closely, in a number of areas for a while. And the overall goal of the partnership that we have with NVIDIA is to deliver AI to every enterprise. And that's really no small feat. So VMware's been an enabler for virtualized GPUs for years now. And with vSphere, we were able to leverage NVIDIA Grid and start to carve it up in many ways to share that GPU workload for many different applications. There's even more coming, to come with moving forward. And in particular, there's really two areas that we work with NVIDIA on. And so one's end user computing, and the other is the AI-ready enterprise platform. So I've written up some of the basics of what we're working together on. I'm not going to talk about it now, but I've put it into a blog, which you should see a link to in the notes. So please go and check it out. There's some other links in the notes as well, which, in particular, I'd encourage you to check out the Alliances page on the VMware website, which talks about our partnership with NVIDIA. Some really interesting stuff that we're doing there. So on to the keynote. So my major highlight of the session, of the entire event, really was the keynote. And so in the keynote, Jensen Huang, who's the CEO of NVIDIA, takes you through really a whole list of incredible achievements and highlights the approach of the company as a place where art and technology is blended to immerse our senses. But to be honest, any CEO who wears a leather jacket to a keynote already has my attention. I was going to put my leather jacket on for this video, actually. But the content to follow really lived up to that promise as well, right down to the background music that's playing throughout. And I don't want to ruin it, but that was also created by AI. So it's really a holistic show as well. So go and check out the keynote. Again, the link will be in the notes as well. But my personal highlight inside of the keynote as well was Omniverse. And it's not something that's really related to VMware specifically, but I thought it was really interesting. And so I thought I'd talk a little bit about it. And so I learned that Omniverse is a way in which NVIDIA is starting to build standards for virtual worlds. And so if you think of a video game with a really large world that you can walk around in and do things, pretty much this is created by the games developer in quite a custom way most times. And so Omniverse is about creating this, it's a collaborative cloud service which allows you to build virtual worlds really quickly and also leverage content from other creatives. Jensen started to talk about, how you can teleport into these worlds, using VR goggles. And that's, kind of becoming more the norm. But then the other thing that he mentioned, which surprised me, was, that the AIs that live in the Omniverse can actually start to come into the real world through the power of things like AR, or augmented reality. And so this, I thought, was really, really exciting stuff to see. Beyond this, Omniverse, it turns out, obeys the laws of physics inside of these worlds, right down to individual particles if you need to. And so that has major implications for any kind of robotics or manufacturing, where you can start to teach your AIs that might run in a real world machine at some point, but you can teach them in a world that's as real to them as the real world itself. And they start talking about the digital twins of the BMW factory, which I thought was interesting. But it started getting me thinking about simulation theory, actually. And if anybody subscribes to simulation theory, this is where things start to get a little bit creepy in the best possible way. So short video today, and please check out the blog. But finally, to wrap up, there was a bunch of different VMware specific sessions at GTC, and they were run by some really brilliant minds from VMware, including the likes of Kit Colbert, who's our CTO of Cloud Platform, right across to staff engineers across different business units, and end user computing specialists as well, talking about the latest and greatest that our partnership with NVIDIA has to offer. Again, there's going to be links to all of these sessions in the notes that I'm going to share with this video. Well worth a look. That's it. I'm excited for the future of AI and for technology. Go check it out. I think you'll find it interesting as well. That's it for today. Thank you very much.